नमस्कार, मैं हूं रविकांत मित्तल। स्वागत है आप सभी का हमारे इस खास कार्यक्रम वैक्सीनेशन फॉर नेशन में। कोरोना ने किसी को भी नहीं बख्शा है। युवा, बुजुर्ग, महिलाएं, यहां तक कि बच्चे भी इसकी चपेट में आ रहे हैं। वैसे तो 18 साल से ज़्यादा उम्र के लोगों के लिए वैक्सीन आ गई है, लेकिन अभी तक इससे छोटे उम्र के बच्चों के लिए कोई वैक्सीन उपलब्ध नहीं है। ऐसे में सबसे ज़्यादा खतरा बच्चों को ही है। कई एक्सपर्ट्स का मानना है कि कोरोना की तीसरी लहर बच्चों को सबसे ज़्यादा प्रभावित करेगी। अब सवाल उठता है कि अपने बच्चों को इस खतरनाक बीमारी की चपेट में आने से कैसे बचाएं। आज हम इसे ही समझने की कोशिश करेंगे। हमारे साथ एक खास मेहमान जुड़ रहे हैं। डॉक्टर किशोर कुमार न्यूनेटोलॉजिस्ट हैं और चेयरमैन हैं क्लाउड9 चेन्स ऑफ हॉस्पिटल के। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है इस प्रोग्राम में डॉक्टर साहब। सबसे पहले मैं ये जानना चाहूँगा कि जो कोरोना की जो दूसरी लहर है, इसकी चपेट में बहुत बच्चे आए इस बार, तो ये बच्चों के लिए कोरोना कितना खतरनाक हो सकता है?
The difference between the first wave and the second wave is, in the first wave, if a family member got COVID and they isolated themselves and they quarantined themselves, they got away. But in the second wave, one member got COVID, the whole family got COVID. In other words, children involved also got in that particular family. So the second wave, it was very highly infectious and it infected the children in the family. The good thing is, in adults, 70 to 80% of people recover without any problems. It's only 6 to 14% of people who get symptoms which may require treatment, and some 1% of people may die. Whereas in children, 94 to 99% recover without major problems at all. It's 1% of children who may get symptoms severe enough to require treatment, and sometimes they may go on to develop what we call as a multi-inflammatory system disorder, which was described in the UK just in April to 2021. So the chances of a child getting very, very sick is much, much lesser than an adult or an old person. But this is a pandemic. What does pandemic means? Pandemic, anything can happen to anybody. Okay. And that's why it's called pandemic all over the world. Generally, as a rule of thumb, pandemic lasts for 2 years. So December 19, we started the pandemic. December 2021 is the earliest we can expect the pandemic to be over. So the risk for everybody will be there, but children get normally infected from adults. And they may become asymptomatic carriers.
डॉक्टर साहब, आपने बिल्कुल सही बात कही कि जो पहली लहर आई तो उसमें बुजुर्ग थे, वो ज़्यादा बीमार हुए, और जब दूसरी लहर आई उसमें हमने देखा कि युवा हुए। लेकिन कई एक्सपर्ट्स अब ये कह रहे हैं कि किसी भी पेंडेमिक में, जैसे भी कि आपने बताया पेंडेमिक में, कि एक तीसरी लहर भी आने की बहुत ज़्यादा संभावना रहती है। तो क्या आपको लगता है कि तीसरी लहर जो है वो बच्चों पर भारी पड़ने वाली है?
The reason for that prediction is there was a lot of criticism that we didn't predict the second wave. So they are being extra cautious and they are saying that third wave may happen. Now, if you look at the past, we need to learn from the past so that we can prepare for the future. When the first wave happened in the US and UK, we didn't have any disease at that stage. So everybody started saying, oh, in India we use turmeric, we use BCG, we use MMR, that's why we are not having any disease. 2 months later, bingo, we had a lot of people get infected. All the theories went out of the window. So this year, January, February, there was a lot of cases in New York, USA, UK, Spain, everywhere. And everybody said, no, India is not going to get second wave. What is the rationale? There was no rationale. And suddenly, April comes, we had a lot of cases. So the way things are happening, we are getting 2 months later than UK and USA.
Okay.
So what it means is, if you look at the UK and USA now, they are virtually opening up with a relatively normal life. So when they are having relatively normal life, why India will get affected only to children? It doesn't make sense. But one thing is true. See, children will get infected if adults around them get infected. The first wave affected predominantly older people and poor people. So everybody thought, oh, I'm in the rich bungalow, I won't get infected. The second wave affected rich people because most of the slum and poor people had already become immune to the infection. So what does it mean? We can learn from this is anybody who is not immune can get infected.
ये बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हमें मास्क सबको लगाना चाहिए, अगर हम बाहर जा रहे हैं सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग रखना चाहिए, और अब तो वैक्सीन आ गई है और वैक्सीन भी सबको लगानी चाहिए, तो फिर किसी को डर नहीं होगा अगर सब वैक्सीनेशन हो जाएगा और हम अगर मास्क लगाएंगे। मेरा आपसे एक सवाल और है, क्योंकि आप छोटे बच्चों के लिए आप उनकी बीमारी दूर करते हैं, कि मौसम बदल रहा है और ये मौसम की जब बदलता है तो काफ़ी बच्चे उसमें बीमार पड़ जाते हैं, और उस समय अगर कोरोना का इन्फेक्शन भी चल रहा है, तो अगर बच्चे बीमार हैं कि मौसम की वजह से बीमार हैं कि कोरोना के इन्फेक्शन की वजह से बीमार हैं, ये हम कैसे पता कर सकते हैं, या पेरेंट्स कैसे उसको घर पे पता कर सकते हैं?
ये बहुत अच्छी क्वेश्चन है। See, normally the monsoon, which is June, July, August, is a season when children get sick. Generally, that's why, as a rule of thumb, the Indian Academy of Pediatrics recommends flu vaccine for all children below the age of 5 to protect them from the influenza, because influenza or the flu can affect children significantly, and the estimates are that 140,000 children get significant flu every year in India. That's why all children under the age of 5 years are recommended flu vaccine. Now, monsoon is a season when we get a lot of children with the flu, lot of children with dengue, lot of children with the mosquito bites. So malaria can happen in malaria endemic regions like coastal Karnataka and various other places. So a lot of infections can happen. Now there is evidence that 1 to 2% of children can have co-infections. It means they can have flu, they can have COVID, or they can have dengue, they can have, this is predictions, not, people have not seen it yet. But what it means is any child who gets fever in the pandemic, we need to make sure that it's not COVID, but we need to make sure that other infections can also happen. So we need to have an open mind and look at the children. Now, if you look at whether it's flu or COVID, they're all viral illness. And the difference being the flu lasts for 1 week and after that they're better. In COVID, the first week, most children get cough, cold and fever and they get better. Only a very, very small fraction, that's why I said it's rare, which is less than 1% of children can become sick second week onwards. It is the second week when the inflammatory reaction happens in COVID. That's when, if the fever is persisting or it's spiking second week, then you have to be careful and you need to see your pediatrician so that you need proper treatment. Otherwise, in the first week, everybody needs fluids and paracetamol, nothing else.
बिल्कुल, ये बहुत सही बात है आपने डॉक्टर साहब बताई कि अगर बच्चों को दूसरे हफ्ते भी अगर बुखार है, तो जो भी ये दर्शक देख रहे हैं वो इस चीज़ का ध्यान रखने कि अगर दूसरे हफ्ते तक भी बुखार चल रहा है तो आप ज़रूर अपने डॉक्टर से कंसल्ट करिए, क्योंकि वो बाकी बीमारियों से अलहदा कोरोना भी हो सकता है। लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब, एक चीज़ और बताइए कि इस बार कोरोना ने सबको पकड़ा, गर्भवती महिलाएं जो प्रेग्नेंट विमेन थी उनको भी कोरोना से खतरा हुआ। अगर किसी प्रेग्नेंट महिला को कोरोना हो जाता है तो इस स्थिति में क्या करना चाहिए और क्या वो बच्चे को भी अफेक्ट कर सकता है?
When a pregnant woman gets, see we are 20 neonatologists from all over the world. We were from 17 countries. We looked at all the data from all around the world, and what we call as the vertical transmission. That means the transmission from the mother to the baby in the uterus or in the womb has not been reported in too many cases. In fact, the first case came from May 2020 in China, but subsequently no other country has reported vertical transmission, which means that the chances of a pregnant mother infecting the baby inside the womb is virtually non-existent, but it does not mean it's not going to happen. There are about 10 case reports all around the world out of so many million. So the chances of a baby getting infected is less likely, but pregnant mothers can get severe disease. That's why vaccination is recommended for pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers by WHO, CDC USA, FOGSI, which is the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology Society of India, FIGO, which is the Federation of International Gynecologists and Obstetricians. They have all recommended that pregnant mothers and lactating mothers should be given vaccine to protect the newborn. And if they get the vaccine, they should not be having a serious disease. Vaccine will prevent death vaccine will prevent serious disease, but vaccine may not prevent infection. Minor infection can happen post vaccination. So that is important to understand.
देखिए, बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट और महत्वपूर्ण बात आपने कही है डॉक्टर साहब, और ये सब समझ लें कि जो भी महिलाएं अगर प्रेग्नेंट भी हैं या बच्चों को वो दूध पिला रही हैं तो उनको वैक्सीन लगवाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। वैक्सीन लगाने से कोई खतरा नहीं है, बल्कि वैक्सीन उनके बचाव के लिए है। लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब, एक चीज़ बताइए कि चूँकि ये लॉकडाउन रहा, ये बहुत ज़्यादा पेंडेमिक फैला, तो कई ऐसे बच्चे, छोटे बच्चे जिनका एक पूरा कोर्स होता है वैक्सीनेशन कराने का, लेकिन वो आ नहीं पाए, हॉस्पिटल नहीं आ पाए। लोगों को हॉस्पिटल आने में डर भी था कि अगर हम जाएंगे तो कोरोना न लग जाए। तो जिन बच्चों का जो वैक्सीनेशन शेड्यूल होता है छोटे बच्चों का, अगर वो मिस हो गया हो तो इस स्थिति में क्या करना चाहिए?
दो तरह की दवाएं है। सो द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज वैक्सीनेशन व्हिच वी कॉल इट एज अ प्राइमरी वैक्सीनेशन। प्राइमरी वैक्सीनेशन आर द वैक्सीनेशंस व्हिच वी गिव इन द फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ लाइफ। अब वो प्राइमरी वैक्सीनेशन डिले मत करना। Most hospitals have immunization clinics where other children are not seen and fewer children are separated, and it is reasonably safe to go to the hospital to get the vaccination done. And primary vaccination should not be delayed, which is the first year of vaccination. A booster vaccination रहता है ना, 18 months onwards, most of the vaccinations are what we call as a booster doses to keep the immunity up. So the booster vaccination, even if it's delayed by 1 or 2 months, there's no problem. But primary vaccination delayed can cause vaccine preventable diseases, which is not ideal. But at Cloud9, we are also doing what we call as a home vaccination, because a lot of mothers are scared to come out of their house. We felt it was appropriate for us to send the vaccination home. So we send the experienced nurses after having consulted the pediatrician by video consultation, explaining what is all involved. We send ambulance with the preparation for any emergencies to be handled, and the nurses go and give the vaccination. We have done more than 20,000 vaccinations now at home, and people are very, very happy.
बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि देखिए, जो पहले साल के जो वैक्सीनेशन है बच्चों के लिए वो बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, उसको आप डिले मत करिए। जो बाकी उसके बाद होते हैं बूस्टर डोज होते हैं, जो कि थोड़े से आप बाद में लगवा सकते हैं। और क्लाउड9 जिस तरीके से घर पे जाके वैक्सीन लगवा रहा है या वो एम्बुलेंस चला रहा है, वो भी सुविधा आप ले सकते हैं, और बाकी हॉस्पिटल में भी आप जा सकते हैं। और डॉक्टर साहब, मेरा अगला सवाल यह है कि अगर कोई बच्चा कोरोना से पीड़ित हो जाता है तो उसकी डाइट का ख्याल कैसे रखा जाए? बच्चे चिड़चिड़े हो जाते हैं बीमारी में, और फिर कोरोना घर में हर कोई अब बच्चा भी जाने लग गया है, तो किस तरीके से उसकी वी हैव टू कीप हिज डाइट प्रॉपर?
Corona is a viral illness. So what you have to understand is, in any viral illness or any febrile illness, the most important what we say is fluid intake. That means the child should drink enough fluids. Even if they don't eat much food, you need to make sure that the fluid intake is good. When we say fluid, a lot of parents get worried saying that my child does not drink water. It doesn't have to be water. It can be soups, it can be fruit juices, it can be tender coconut water, or it can be something like electrol or some other fluids. As long as the water intake is good, because when they have fever, they tend to lose a lot of fluid from the body, which makes them feel very, very tired. And some children may have loose motions and vomiting too. And when they have loose motions and vomiting, they lose a salt called potassium in the mucus, which makes them very tired. That's why the potassium needs to be replaced. And that's why the tender coconut water or fruit juice or soups are better to replace the potassium, because fruits and vegetables are rich in potassium. If the child eats, then regular food can be given. There is no restriction. But ideally, good amount of vegetables, good amount of pulses, good amount of fruits are good, because they all contain minerals and vitamins which are good for immunity.
डॉक्टर साहब, एक चीज़ बताइए कि जो कोरोना है वो हमारे इम्यून सिस्टम होता है उसको काफ़ी ख़राब कर देता है। अगर बच्चों को हो रहा है तो उनके इम्यून सिस्टम को भी ख़राब करेगा। तो बच्चों के इम्यून सिस्टम को मजबूत करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए?
Immune system is not something you can build it over 1 or 2 days. That's why the diet of children should always be right from the beginning. That's why we always say give a balanced diet, not junk food. What is balanced diet? 40% of your diet should contain proteins, 30% should contain fats, and 30% should be carbohydrates. Few variations like 30% protein and 40% carbohydrates is okay. But it can't be grossly carbohydrates and no protein, sugar-rich food. Then that is not good for the immunity. If you eat a balanced diet along with good amount of vegetables and good amount of fruits, that is the best immune booster. There are lot of reports, especially in the social media, take vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc. Now, I have to tell you, vitamin D deficiency is very common. Vitamin D deficiency can lower your immunity. So taking vitamin D helps. That's why we give vitamin D for the first 2 years to children. But excess of vitamin D is also dangerous. So you should not take, if you're deficient in vitamin D, it helps in the immunity. But if you're excess vitamin D, it can harm your body. Similarly, zinc. If you're deficient in zinc, if you take zinc, it helps. But excess of zinc has been supposed to be the reason why a lot of black fungus or mucormycosis is happening. So excess of zinc is also dangerous. So the hypothesis is zinc poisoning by taking too much of zinc can propagate fungal growth in the oral and ENT cavity. So you should not take anything for too long. So the old saying, too much of anything is too bad, applies here too.
बिल्कुल सही बात है। किसी भी चीज़ की अति बहुत ही ख़राब होती है। आप उस चीज़ को उतनी ही लें जितना ज़रूरत है। डॉक्टर साहब, एक चीज़ बताइए कि बच्चों के जो वैक्सीनेशन है उसके तो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल अब शुरू हो गए हैं। कोई कह रहा है नेज़ल होगा या कोई इंजेक्टेबल होगा। आपको क्या लगता है कि ये बच्चों के लिए, जो छोटे बच्चे 18 साल के ऊपर तक तो आ गया है, लेकिन 18 साल से नीचे और जो छोटे बच्चे हैं उनके लिए वैक्सीन कब तक आ जाएगी?
See, the trials are going on. Now the Covaxin is being tried and the results are expected by end of July or August. After that, the licensing process will take generally 1 to 2 months. So the earliest we can expect the vaccines for children in India is September or October. But realistically, the vaccines in children need to be tried more because the dose which we give for children is different from adults and how they react. Now, everybody knows that Pfizer vaccine has been tried all over the world for children and adults, and everybody thinks Pfizer vaccine is the best vaccine. The preliminary reports from various parts of the world shows that Pfizer vaccine, when it's given to children, there is a 10 to 20% chance of myocarditis as a side effect. What is myocarditis? Inflammation of the heart. So it's not safe to give the vaccine without trials for children. That's why you need to wait for the vaccine. But I'm stressing this again, children are not the ones who go out and get the infection. It's the adult who go out, get the infection and transmit it to the children. So if you don't go out, or if you go out only when required with the proper mask and maintain social distance, there is no reason why children will get infected in your house. When I say mask, when we tried to explain that the mask you need to wear in the first wave, there was a lot of countries, like even in the US, Spain, Italy, there was shortage of masks. The good thing is in India, our government helped to manufacture the masks in mass scale in the first wave. We have never experienced shortage of masks. Though it was anticipated, we never experienced shortage of masks. Now that we have second waves, let me be very clear to you, normal mask is not very good in protecting because the seal around your mouth is not going to be good. N95 mask is the better one because the seal around your thing is very good, and also it filters virtually 95% of your viruses. So ideally everybody should wear N95 mask because normal mask is not very good, especially cloth mask. It's not going to protect you completely. So if you want better protection, N95 mask with a good seal or double mask with a good seal.
एब्सोल्युटली, मास्क पहनना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अभी खतरा छटा नहीं है। डॉक्टर साहब, एक चीज़ बताइए कि जो ये वैक्सीन बन रही है बच्चों की, तो क्या जिस तरीके से वैक्सीनेशन बच्चों का होता है, आने वाले समय में बच्चों के लिए और क्या बड़ों के लिए भी ये कोविड की वैक्सीन लगाना एक रेगुलर काम हो जाएगा?
That's a very good question. It's a hypothetical question. See, flu is a seasonal infection which happens every year, and flu vaccine immunity lasts only for 1 year because the virus mutates. That's why the flu vaccine is recommended every year for all high-risk individuals. Now, COVID is also a virus infection. Now, but having said that, if you look at the previous pandemics, the pandemics usually last for 2 years and after that it fizzles out. Now the question is this pandemic different? Is it going to continue to stay? If it continues to stay and bother us, then we may have to get the vaccine every year. But that is a hypothetical question, so it's a hypothetical answer. Nobody knows the correct answer until we have to wait and see.
ठीक है सर, ये आने वाले समय में ही पता लगेगा, जैसा कि हम लोग बोलते हैं। मैं आपसे अंत में यही जानना चाहूँगा कि आप एक बार जो हमारे दर्शक हैं उनको बता दीजिए कि जो छोटे बच्चे हैं उनको कोविड से बचाने के लिए घर के बड़ों को क्या क्या करना चाहिए, व्हाट दे शुड हाउ दे प्रोटेक्ट देयर किड्स फ्रॉम दिस कोरोना।
Anybody in the house has a very small cold or a cough or mild fever, assume that you have COVID and wear a mask, wash your hands before you touch your children, and maintain social distance until you feel better. Children don't get infected from anywhere other than from the adults in the house. Or if they go out, 99.9% of the children are not going out anywhere with these lockdowns, or because there are no schools. It is the infection coming from the adults. So if you have any infection, if you protect yourself from spreading, then they will be better. So the best thing is not to panic. Even if your child gets infected, 99%, not 91, not 92, 99% of children will have mild fever, cold, cough in the first week and recover completely without any problem. If that 1% of children, why we worry about 1% of children in India is 40% of our population is less than 18. So less than 18, 40% of our population, 1% is going to be a significant number. In that 1% of children, if they persist fever or if they start having cough and breathing difficulties, second week onwards, that's when you need to be careful and go to the pediatrician to get you checked out. So the chances of that happening is less than 1 in 100 and possibly less than 1 in 1,000. So don't panic, be optimistic. If you have negative thoughts is well known to affect your immunity and defense mechanism. Positive thoughts are always better. Positive thoughts improve your immunity and confidence to deal with the things. So stay calm, stay safe, and you will be fine.
बिल्कुल सही बात है डॉक्टर साहब कि ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है कि हम अपने बच्चों को सुरक्षित रखें, हम फालतू में बाहर ना जाएं, मास्क लगाएं, वैक्सीनेशन कराएं, ये सब बहुत ज़रूरी है। आपने हमसे बात की और ये सब बताया कि बच्चों को वैक्सीनेशन कितना ज़रूरी है, उनको ख्याल रखना कितना ज़रूरी है, पैनिक नहीं होना है। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे जुड़ने के लिए। और वैक्सीनेशन फॉर नेशन ये हमारा प्रोग्राम ये बताने के लिए है कि आपको वैक्सीनेशन कराना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि केवल यही एक सुरक्षा का तरीका बचा है कोरोना से। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।